Hey folks, welcome to episode 2 of Bench Squat and Dessert. The reboot, the refinish, the new generation, whatever you want to call it.
Something like that.
Well, the weather kind of dipped on us. That was fun.
Sure was.
It's Minnesota, so just in case you're not in Minnesota, it's Minnesota here. And I think last Friday it was like 80 degrees. Saturday it was like 70. And then it hit like 40. So
little shock to the system, but that's okay. You know,
that's what we get here.
Minnesotans are hardy.
I know. Today we're a little bump up today. I think we're 50s this weekend. So you may not be exercising outside as much.
Right.
Which leads me to our topic for today. You like that one?
That was a good
decent.
segue. Yeah.
Exercise. Kind of like an exercise 101. Starting to exercise. Things you need to look out for. Things you should consider when you're trying to start a workout plan. Now, I think there's basically like 3 things you need to consider. 1, what's your goal? 2, how to achieve it. Third one is, how are you going to hold yourself accountable to achieve these goals?
Yes.
So, without one of the 3, you probably are gonna fail. Let's be honest. Like if you don't know what you're working out for, you never hit your goal.
Well, you won't miss it either because you didn't have it in the first.
Like I did it, unless that's your goal to just exercise, which is a worthy goal if you don't do anything.
Yeah.
A worthy goal is to just exercise. So, how much is that? How many times is that a week though? Then you gotta, all those things to consider. How much do you exercise now? Or let me take us through your exercise.
My exercise routine.
No,
or
not
how
routine. How you got there? How you got there?
Let's see. So, I would say I've probably always been a little bit active, but right after college was probably the worst where I didn't do anything, basically. After gaining, they say freshman 15, I probably gained freshman 30 because I didn't change my eating habits at all from when I was in high school and I worked out more. Because I ran track and did a wide variety of activities. Then I went to not working out at all, but still eating the same way. So you can't do that. So then, I had to slowly work my way back up. I think I started with just using the treadmill, even though I hate the treadmill now, but learning how to do shorter spurts of treadmill time. I don't have to stay on there for 30 minutes. I like to do like an interval kind of thing now, where if I have to work out indoors, I'll do like 10 minutes of bike, 10 minutes of treadmill, 10 minutes of elliptical if I'm, at the gym.
Which
is a little harder now.
It's like tricky these days.
Yeah.
So where are you now? Like, obviously, this is probably the fittest you've been, I would say.
Yeah.
In your entire life, maybe.
I
mean, you ran track back in the day. So
high school, I probably was the fittest, but this is a very, very close second. That's for sure.
And fun fact, you only have one ACL.
Yes.
So she tore her ACL. When did you tear it?
Like
how many?
4 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe? Yeah, it's about 4 years.
And you can still run.
I can still run. I was actually doing some pretty quick running. Not same as sprinting,
Not quite.
Not a 100-meter sprinter.
I think you can get there.
But, it as long as it's not a lateral movement, you can make it work.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Exactly.
So you do that. You do weights. You still squat. You can kind of lunge. So you're actually pretty good for a person with one ACL, if you think about it.
But I think part of it too is my physical therapist, way back when I hurt myself, she said the one thing you need to do is make sure your legs are strong. And the best way to get your legs strong are squats and lunges and things. She's like, that's the best way to. And then when I looked online too, a lot of soccer players, some of them don't actually get their ACL fixed. They just get really strong legs.
Really?
Which I'm like,
Soccer?
Mm-hmm. I
did
was
not know that
surprised
would be a
at
thing.
how many soccer players. Well, it's probably still a small percentage, but
Right.
there's some out there who are playing without ACLs, like professional people. I'm like, how are you doing that? I don't know how that works, but their legs
lot of
are
rehab,
really
little
strong.
Yeah.
But
I
most
mean,
of
it
us
is a
are
tendon,
not
like,
going
I was
there.
going to say, they obviously did a lot of rehab
They
and a lot of
did.
strengthening
I'm not
to
doing
work
all that.
around that. But, man, that's pretty tough. That means, hey, you can get back on that soccer field.
Nope, not doing that. That dream dies that day.
Died with your ACL on the field.
It did.
Mine's kind of similar. I mean, like, I did stuff. I've always been active.
Yeah.
I mean, I just never ate well until
Mm-hmm.
age about 18. I had to dial that in a little bit. A little chunky as a child, but I was athletic. That was the thing. I was very athletic as a child. I could touch the rim at like 230
Yeah.
pounds.
Imagine if he was in shape.
I know.
Wow.
It was my scholarship. I missed it in high school. Oh well.
Yeah.
We all go somewhere. It's all a plan, right? Anyways, so I did, right after high school, I dropped a lot of weight. And I kept running track. That was what kept me on track a little bit and cleaned up my diet as far as not eating like
As much
cupcakes
junk.
and junk. And I mean, we do have pizza quite a bit when I was out, even when I was doing it, but I was so active.
Yeah.
And I was doing, I think in the morning, because I was in college, I would play ball in the morning for like an hour or so, go to class, lift weights, then go home and run track. Like, I was me. I mean, of course, my knees were like filled with liquid or fluid because I was using them too much. And the doctor's like, all right, chill when they started to hurt too much. But I was younger and I could get away with it. Now that obviously would not work. But I just kind of was so active that my eating habits didn't have to be on par. But as I got older, I learned how to eat better.
Yeah.
And I was able to maintain my weight. I've maintained my weight for 20 years now. Like, that sounds crazy, but it actually over 20 years. So, not really. A little fluctuation of 10 pounds maybe. And
But
during the
not
holiday
like
season.
vast swings of
Exactly.
weight. Oh, this is the fat Paul. Oh, this is the skinny Paul. This is none of that kind of
No.
stuff. You've been pretty consistent.
Feel better that way. Especially as you get older, you don't want to have to try to get back in shape if you don't. If you're out of shape, obviously yes, get in shape, but if you are in shape, don't
Try your best to stay there.
don't get out of shape. It's not worth it.
It's so much harder when you get older.
So a couple of things to consider when trying to start working out. How much time do you have? I was like,
Yes.
you can want to have, and I say this with having your goal in mind. Obviously, if you want to be like
6-pack abs, you're gonna do.
you're gonna have to put some work in. So, do you have time to do that? At least, okay, I should take it back and say, you have to have a certain amount of time over a period of time. So, you don't necessarily have to have a whole bunch of time right away, but if you're willing to go a year or two, depending on how out of shape you are,
Yeah, that's true.
you can get there. But if you're trying to get there quickly, you need to use a lot of time to do this. Second one, what's your present level of fitness?
Yeah, that's key.
If you do nothing, you're not going to become a champion athlete over 6 months. That's not going to happen. And if the coach tells you that, they're lying to you. Run away from them.
Well, you won't last
just
that
not
long
realistic.
anyway, because for what they'd have to tell you to do, you wouldn't want to do it. You'd be so sore and hurting so badly, you'd be like, forget it, it's not worth it.
Yeah, because you'd have to go from 0
Super
to
hard.
100, basically.
It kind of reminds me of like Biggest Loser. Remember when that first came on?
Oh,
Those
yeah.
people went from like no exercise
Yeah.
to like, we're running on the treadmill, interval training on the treadmill
Tears.
every day. I was like,
That's not sustainable. That was not sustainable. I was like, it's good to get a jump.
It
Obviously,
is good to get a jump, but
if you're on the side of heart disease, heart attack chances, obviously losing weight is great. But I'm thinking of the joints at that much weight is horrible. So take your time if you
when you hurt.
Exactly. and if you hurt yourself, you going to be able to find something else. But
even more. So,
there's nothing wrong with walking sometimes. That's a good start.
It sure is.
Third one I would say is your will or desire to lose weight versus the lifestyle and results you want to see. So you may want to have a six-pack and be chiseled like some of the Instagram people you see, but do you still want to be able to go out with friends and have drinks or have a good meal twice a week? You know, these things, you got to balance that. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Maybe you just want to look fit, because you can look fit and have some abs and still enjoy your life. Even when I was younger, I didn't think you could. I would avoid going out sometimes. Like, nah, I gotta stay on track. I can't go out to eat, but you can just choose. You can choose wisely. That's the thing. You can actually do it if again you have a desire to do that.
But I think what you just mentioned is a very critical step, because people don't think about that. We especially as Americans, we think of things in extremes. Like, I'm either going to sit on this couch and do absolutely nothing, or I'm going to be, up early in the morning and I'm going to do my cardio first and then my lifting and then and burn it, and then I'm going to go home and then do another set of workouts. And it's like, there is a whole lot of real estate right in here.
Oh, for sure.
That you can work in, and you can kind of build. If you absolutely feel like, no, I want to get to that level, then you just take that slow road on the way up there, and you won't kill yourself trying to get there, or burn out, or decide you don't want to do anything and come all the way back here. Or you might say, part way there, you know what, this is fine for me. I feel good. I can do most of the things that I want to do. I'm not huffing because I had to take the stairs, and I'm only on the second floor and I can't take it, those kind of things.
Exactly.
Those are the things we want to avoid. We want to be functionally able to do the things that we need to do to live. Or if your kid says, hey, I want to go out and, catch the football a little bit in the backyard, you're not like, oh, geez. You don't want that look. You want to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's go out and do that for a little bit. Because you can actually do it.
Exactly. And honestly, most people, you really don't want to be super, super fit. No. I would say 90% of the people don't want to be. After the age of 30 really could care less, rather than, even in the summer, there's probably like 10 days where you're like, boy, it would be nice to be chiseled. But
you're right. It's like 10 days out of the 365 days a year.
Being pretty fit and being chiseled, the difference between that is like 7-10 pounds, maybe. Yeah,
and that's the difference between having a burger and eating broccoli and steamed fish.
It gets hard after a while. And a lot of times at that low of a body weight, you're not necessarily as healthy anyway.
Yes, true.
A nice... being strong, fit, and, not having a belly, but having a flat, core is great. Right. And you don't have to take it to that extreme.
No.
Plus, most people don't look that way.
They're doing weird things to get that look for that picture.
Exactly.
It's like that. They're not living like that for real. If you saw them on the street, probably normally, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that guy's healthy. You would know that he was that tight.
Yeah.
Because he's not normally that tight. Except for that picture when he did that special, diuretic or whatever to get all the water out so he could.
Well, there's ways, you can dry yourself out.
Exactly.
You can cut the carbs for a couple of days.
But still, it was a process to get that. And it's like,
But between that and what he normally looks like without that, he could probably enjoy his life for the most part. Obviously, you can't have everything you want.
Right.
But.
Right. There's no cheeseburger every day.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Nor do you need one every day. Come on. No. So let's go into some tips. for exercising, sticking to your exercise workouts. First one I would say is to plan out your workouts for the week. Not necessarily pick a day all the time. Like this, you can try that too. You could say Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are going to be my workout. But life happens, even in this quarantine time. You need to go week to week, basically. Do your kids have some concert they have to go to? Can you work out at that time that you normally would? So if I'm looking at my schedule on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, will anything interfere that week with it? If it does, I need to adjust. Do it at a different time. Maybe I go to the morning. That's why I like morning workouts. There's really no distraction. I just get up a little bit earlier than, some may want, but it works for me. It sticks me on schedule. I know when I'm working out. I don't have to worry about missing days.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I was one of those people who did not want to get up early to work out. I liked working out after work, but when you have meetings that are constantly, sideswiping your workouts, I had to switch to the mornings because then way less meetings in the morning than in the evening. So
yes,
I didn't want to have to adjust my schedule all the time. So I just switched. You do get used to it.
You do. And I would say a good thing, and what I did is I didn't start with, getting up 1 hour earlier. What I actually did, I would work out at night usually, but I decided to get up about 20 or 30 minutes earlier. I just did my main lifts because I was basically doing weightlifting at that point. I would do my main lifts and then I would go and do the accessory stuff after.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have to get up an hour early. And then the accessory stuff, I didn't mind, that's another 20 minutes or whatever. So I don't have to get up so early right away. I kind of slowly built up
idea.
to an hour. So if I was doing, so if you're doing like an upper body day, I would do bench, maybe shoulder press. And then I'd go do my day, come home, do maybe some lat raise or arms or whatever I would want to do, core, and I'd finish the rest. And if I missed that, I wouldn't feel so bad about just missing the accessory stuff. I got the main stuff that gives you strength and all the actual pretty much the good benefits. I got that done.
Yeah, that's good.
So work your way up, especially if you're doing something, if you're just starting, you don't need a long workout.
That's true.
So, and that goes to my next one. Don't go all out right away. So
how many people have we met that just burn out because they just go all out?
Yes.
First, I went to the gym and I ran for an hour, and then I went and did my upper body and my lower body, and I'm like, how do you feel today? I know you don't feel good.
No. And it's something that, especially if you're one of those that doesn't really like working out, you need to really start to enjoy some of the process here. So just going crazy balls to the wall does not make sense.
No.
If you're one of those that's out of shape, you don't have to do a lot. You can start with walking, light weights. I always tell people to do some type of weight training because as we get older, we lose muscle. As we lose muscle, we start to look flabbier, and your metabolism slows down. It's just a downward slope.
Right.
And strength training, in some degree, you don't have to have major weights, but even body weight is a way to maintain and build.
Right.
And you need that. If you want to look lean, you have to do some type of strength training.
Yeah, it's not just about, because I know they have the Jane Fonda workouts and everybody thinks, well, if I do, enough jumping jacks or whatever, if I do enough, especially for women, it's always about doing all these aerobic exercises to stay thin. And it's like, no, those women that are thin that you're seeing, they're not just doing aerobic. They might not be even doing that much. They're doing some resistance training, some weight training. That's what helps them have that nice lean muscle look to their arms that we're all trying to get, thinking that, oh, if I do enough cardio, I'll look like that. No, you won't.
No.
You won't look like that if you do enough cardio.
You can't have leanness without muscle. Yeah. That's just the way it is.
That's the thing. They have muscle, and that's what you're seeing that makes them look so nice and smooth and lean. it's not cardio doing that. From Jennifer Lopez down to Jennifer Aniston, they're doing not that she's down. I'm just saying they're
spectrum.
the women that we're looking at, and we're like,
These
oh,
are
I want to
women that
look
are
like them.
Yeah, that are 50-ish.
Yeah, she's
50,
50.
I think.
Over
they're both
50.
And they're looking
like that.
Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
the
another
arms,
one. She's 60.
She's not doing just a little curl here and a little bit. She's doing serious weight. And they don't look manly.
Bulky and manly. They look very feminine
because
and
they
lean.
keep their diet in check.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest thing. If you're bulking up as a woman, you are just eating too much.
Which hurt my feelings when he told me that, because I'm one of those women that kind of bulks when they lift weights. And I remember you told me, I was like, what? You trying to say I'm fat?
I ain't saying that. I'm saying you're looking bulky because of the extra fat.
Well, in your defense, though, I said, well, I don't want to lift too much because I look bulky. I start to get bulky. And then that's when you were like, that's not the bulk from the weight.
No.
That's your fat. You've got too much fat, which makes you look bulky. But if you keep going, you'll lean out and you'll look better. And I was like, what? You're trying to stay on fat?
I ain't saying that. But if you deducted that.
But yeah, you do lean out. You do lean out.
You do. You have to stick to it, though.
You do have to stick, because it does worry you when you see it. You're just like, oh, I look huge. I can see the muscle.
I was like, settle. Let's get the diet in check. Make sure we're losing. That's the thing. Walking is enough, even with cardio.
It really is.
I mean, obviously, if you want to do heavier cardio, I like getting the heart rate up. But you can also get the heart rate up with weights. So, especially in the outdoors, or especially with the weather right now, you may not want to go outdoors. So, there's a way to do it inside. Mm-hmm. But yes, you do. If you start to look bulky, watch what you're eating, and figure out what's going wrong here. Because eventually, you should see
yourself come down,
and you should actually look smaller.
Mm-hmm. Even though you weigh more. Now,
you don't look bigger.
Right.
You actually look bigger when you were heavier, but you may have weighed less, or if that makes sense. I don't remember. But anyways.
I haven't lost that much, but I look a lot smaller.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, you do some strength training. Find some program to do. If you can always just start with simple things like squats, push-ups, press, lunges. Stick with the simple things. Everything you see on Instagram, all those little exercises, you really don't need those. It's the basic ones that get you to that level, and then they'll, do some fancy things because people need something to like. I was like, no one really does that all day. No one does those workouts. They do squats, lunges, press, shoulder press. The main ones is what they do. All that Instagram stuff, get a bigger butt. They don't really do all that stuff. That's just supplemental. You really have to actually do the main exercises.
You got to set a good foundation.
Yes. Otherwise, those things,
they don't.
What do they say? House, no foundation.
A bad foundation, your house will crumble. Yes. In that case, you might end up hurting yourself because you don't have the base muscles you need to do those other, tricks and tips and things that they.
You try some of the things they try, you're gonna hurt yourself. It will not be pretty, and then you'll just give up and say, "See,
exercise is not for me." No, that's not how that works.
Start with the basics first.
Right.
Now, if you're somebody that does not like exercise, at least at this moment, hopefully you grow into it. But a couple of things you can do is reward yourself while you're exercising. So what I mean by that is, if you're going to, let's say you're going to use a treadmill. I'm going to go use a treadmill.
Yeah, because I don't like that thing.
Yeah. You could watch with your TV, or not your TV, or your phone, or your device, or whatever it is, your favorite show while you do it. That is just something that can help get you to the point to do the exercise. YouTube, I like YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube while I do a stationary bike. I actually watch TV while we do weights, and everything is just in your hand now. Your phone is entertainment. use that to your benefit.
I agree.
If you don't like that or you need some other things, give yourself something else. Maybe you said, I get a nice bath to myself after I work out. Maybe you have kids and you be like, husband, I need to do this, or husband, or maybe wife, I need to do this. I'll be like, I need some chill time after my workout. I did it for a week. I get a nice bath. Like, just don't reward yourself with food.
Yeah.
That is a bad thing. So
we're trying to
choose
break
something.
That cycle.
Yeah, exactly. so choose something that might help relax you, make you feel better, that you enjoy, non-food wise.
New activity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That kind of gets you going, or at least gets you the push to do it, and just stay consistent with it. Stick with it. If you don't feel like you're making the results, try it for a little bit longer.
Because it will feel like it for a little bit. You'll be like, what is the point of this? It's not working. But it is working. But it just takes time for it to work.
Exactly.
So find ways to motivate yourself to keep moving.
Exactly. And that will get you basically to your goal if you're able to consistently do it.
Consistency.
There's
that word again. We used it last week, and now here we are again.
Imagine that. You have to be consistent to achieve things in life. What? All right. So, any other thoughts?
Be consistent.
Nice. That's all I have too. So, that is episode 2.
Number 2.
Exercise 101. Do you have any topics for us to go over? Obviously, reach out. Let us know. Email or just comment. paul@pajimofitness.com. And yeah, I'll just use my email. And until next time, peace.
See ya.